The pay to win model in gaming is something that I never understood, right? Because, when you play games for a long period of time, regardless of what style of gaming you're into, I never thought that paying to win would be the model that would be the bane of all of our existence in gaming, at least for mine. And I understand the casual gamer idea. Not everyone is a hardcore gamer. And when I say hardcore gamer, I'm thinking about any person that puts in at least more than 15 hours in a given week, right? So if you do the math, that's about what? At least about 2 hours a day in gaming, a little bit more. But to the extent that it no longer matters anymore, because playing the game for the sake of just beating the game and grinding it out, it doesn't matter when people that have money that really just want to get all the bells and whistles, they become the whales that allows them to blow past everyone else to achieve everything in the game. But what happens in a situation where you pay to win and you get everything that you wanted? What happens to that person when you finally get what you want because you're able to pay for everything? Well, there's an instance where the pay to win model doesn't always work out well for those that want to spend their way to victory. According to a GameSpot.com article that was released on August 3rd, there was a section that said matchmaking winning records are so high in the game of Diablo Immortal, and by the way, that's the game that I'm referring to, that the matchmaking system can't find other players for just All About Business, which is a streamer that's very popular on Twitch, that is not possible to find someone else to match with this player. In fact, he says that he has tried to find a match for anywhere between 48 to 72 hours with no success, and the problem has persisted for several weeks. Now, this is the same person who bought their way into the game that now wants to get a refund, and get this, for the over $100,000 that he spent, as he's no longer able to participate in the activities, the game itself that he paid for, the game that he succeeded himself at. And so, to me, I think that there's a few things. One, you literally get what you pay for. I can't feel sorry for any person that bought their way into ending the game and now all of a sudden has some sort of concern because no one wants to play with the player. It's not that no one wants to play, it's that the matchmaking system is basically making it so that there's no one else that he can play. He has defeated every single person based off of their win-loss records and other metric that determines who gets to play with an individual like that streamer. So you can't be mad when your ability to whale and get revenue from streaming services in the process now backfires because there's nothing else to stream, right? And I don't think it's necessary for companies like Activision Blizzard to have to refund your money. You got what you paid for. You knew what you were signing up for the moment you decided, okay, I'm going to buy all the items that I need and level up in such a fashion, so quickly, mind you, that now there's no one else that you want to play. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't just spend your way through beating the game, and then when you finally do so, there's nothing left to play, right? There's a reason that, and also this is at fault to Activision Blizzard, that when you're going through the progression, the grind progression, that it should complement at a way where you're able to progress at a pace that is joyful and it allows for people to continue to replay. Because once you're able to blast through everything and now you have all the items, you have all of your characters maxed out to as far as it can, and there's literally nothing you can do, especially in a game like Diablo Immortal. There's a PvP element that really there's no one else that you can match with in the PvP matchmaking environment. So you can't get what you want just because you can pay for it. You can't always get everything, and you can't have your cake and eat it too. But it also proves that the pay to win model just overall stinks, because it always, in the end, impacts two types of people. One, it impacts the player who can't keep up because either A, they don't have the money to whale out like some of these other gamers and streamers can, or the time it will take to get to those whales that have all those items. There's not enough minutes in the day, there's not enough minutes in an hour or whatever to get to the point where you can stand toe to toe with those whales that can throw tens of thousands of dollars to get some sort of progression in the game. So it impacts those type of players. And secondly, it obviously impacts the other players that spend so much that now they're isolated from others from playing with them. Right? In the case of the streamer, there is a very, very, very small pool of players that can play. And once you become that biggest fish in the gigantic pond, there's obviously a small, small population of people that can go toe to toe, unless the system will match those individuals to those said whales. So at the end of the day, paying to win in the short term, it works. It gets those players the opportunities to, play in a fashion that they can get all the items and progress as far as the game can play. But let's look again at the Diablo Immortal example. If you have people that are grinding it out, they're slowly progressing because, this game is a free to play game, Diablo Immortal. It's free to play, and you're attracting first casual gamers that may just want to log in, play a few minutes of the game, work on their customization of their character, maybe do a raid, but they're doing it through the progression of the game based off of their pace. So you'll have players that may have great items, that may be leveled up, but they're not further progressed in the storyline versus the whales that have all the items, that have progressed far into the game. So there's really no one there that they can play with. You see, this is the future of gaming. And honestly, it's up to the gamers to make a choice on how they want to game. Now, me personally, I don't think that people, including myself, should feel sorry to some whale like the streamer I talked about that doesn't know what to do because they spent all their money wanting to make content, yet they can't because there's nothing really else to record. I hope that this serves as an example that Activision Blizzard can look at when they're thinking about future development of these types of games. Will it radically change in the future? Probably not. The amount of money that Activision Blizzard is making off of Diablo Immortal because of the free to play model, because of the ability to just buy your way into your progression, I don't think that this is going to change. But I hope that for content streamers that makes their bottom line by whaling out in the game, I hope that you now take this as a notice that you may need to think about your strategy differently when you approach these games. Because if you're relying on these games to make your money and then you do everything and there's nothing else to record, you can't blame the developer and try to ask for their money back because you're paying your way through everything. Again, sometimes you always can't get what you want. So, with that being said, those are my 2 cents. If you like what you heard, please, please, please put a like on this video. And if you want to see more, if you want to hear more about my ideas about gaming, it can be about game shows, it can be about video games, it can be about other things in between, please subscribe and watch the content that I have posted. I have some followers that I imagine will enjoy this new content, so feel free to see the other stuff that I've posted. I'm trying to boost my numbers in terms of subscriptions, so please subscribe if you're really into this. This will assure that you'll get to see all of my content on the YouTube algorithm. And take care.